Okay, hi kiddos. I am going to attempt to teach you some math here with my document camera. It only took me I don't know, about 3 or 4 minutes to figure out how to move my camera so that you can see it. Again, that probably doesn't surprise you at all. So, we're going to talk about polygons. Polygons. And specifically in polygons, quadrilaterals. That word is a word that I struggle to spell all the time. So, a polygon. A polygon is any shape that is closed. So it's a closed-sided shape. So a triangle is a polygon. You could have a square that is a polygon. You could have a rectangle that is a polygon. And any other, you could have a shape that is 20-sided if you wanted. So a quadrilateral, I know that we've talked about throughout the year, that is a 4-sided shape. A quad, we know, means 4. So in quadrilaterals, there are some very specific polygons that I want you to know. The first one would be, let me erase this a little bit so that I have some room. I'm going to write quads up here just so that we remember that that's what we're talking about. Okay. The first one that I want you to know would be a parallelogram. And a parallelogram, I think, as being the most non-specific of the quadrilateral group. Parallelogram has the word parallel in it. And if something is parallel, it means it has sides that will never intersect. So parallel sides, I think of as train tracks. The sides of a train track here, they will never intersect at any point, which means they're never going to crisscross. They stay in their own paths on each side. So a parallelogram has 2 pairs of opposite parallel sides. So I'm going to attempt to draw kind of a parallelogram here, free-handed. So I have one pair of parallel sides here, and I'm going to show that they're parallel by putting a little dash on each one. And then these 2 are parallel. I don't know who decided it, but somebody did in geometry. You will see this when you were in middle and high school. If you see one dash and another dash on the opposite side, it means they are equal parallel sides. Same way here. The 2 with the 2 dashes are also equal and parallel. So a parallelogram has 2 pairs of parallel sides. The next one we have is a rhombus. And a rhombus is a little step up from a parallelogram. A rhombus has 2 pairs of parallel sides, so it builds upon the parallelogram up here, plus all sides equal. So a parallelogram just has 2 sets of parallel sides. A rhombus has 2 sets of parallel sides, plus all sides are equal. So I'm going to attempt to draw a rhombus here. Now you notice that I don't have what are called right angles here. And right angles are angles that make a 90-degree mark. They come together, or a 90-degree angle. They come together at a perfect L. So these angles are not a perfect L here. So a rhombus has all 4 equal sides and 2 sets of parallel sides. So that shows that they are all equal, and then this is parallel to this. This is going to be parallel to this. The next one would be that I'm going to draw. I'm going to draw a rectangle. Oops. So a rectangle builds upon these things, except for all sides are not equal. They do have, so I guess it really doesn't build upon a rhombus, except that it does have parallel sides. It has two sets of parallel sides. But we now are going to add that right angle, 90 degrees. So all angles are 90 degrees now. And this side are parallel. This side and this side are parallel. So that would be a rectangle. Now, you might say, well, I've known what a rectangle is since I was in preschool or kindergarten. But maybe you didn't understand you could see what a rectangle was. You could pick out a rectangle, but you didn't know what made a rectangle a rectangle. Now you do. The next one we're going to look at, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to erase this part because I'm going to leave my rectangle on here and I'm going to show you what a square does. So a square does build upon that rectangle, okay? Except for it has attributes, meaning it has characteristics of both a rectangle and a rhombus. We know a rhombus had four equal sides. Whoopsie doodle. And a rectangle had all sides that are 90 degrees. So a square is really a combination of both. All sides are equal with two sets of parallel sides. Okay, so this side, let me get my, see if I get my red marker here. This side is parallel along with this side being, these two sides being parallel. Do you see that? So now all four sides are equal, plus all angles are 90 degrees. And then the last one I think of as kind of being in its own group when it comes to quadrilaterals. Everything so far has had parallel sides, two sets of parallel sides. The rhombus has two sets of parallel sides. The square does. The rectangle does. A parallelogram, anything is a parallelogram as long as it has two sets of parallel sides. So the oddball in this group is called a trapezoid. And the trapezoid only has one pair of parallel sides. So let me show you how this is going to look if I draw my trapezoid. So I'm going to draw kind of two diagonal lines. And then here's my one set of parallel sides. Notice my angles are not 90 degrees. So here is my set of parallel sides right here. These, you might say, now wait a minute, they don't intersect. They're parallel. But watch what happens. Parallel sides never intersect at any point, not just in the shape, but past the shape. So watch what happens when I extend these out. Boom. Do you see they intersect right there? So even though they don't intersect in the shape, if I continued my lines, they will eventually intersect. So a trapezoid only has that one set of parallel sides. I hope that this helps. I hope that you are able to understand this. Go back, reread or rewatch this as many times as you need to. And I will be back soon with another lesson, I am sure. Toodle-oodle poodles. Yay.